This bell is not an easy bell to ring. I wouldn't be surprised if Bustamante rang this bell. But I carried the symbol of the party today because it is such a historic moment that this is a victory for our founder, Bustamante, for Sir Donald Stankster, for Hugh Shearer, for Edward Philip George Tiago.
Emily made some strong points in this conversation about the Privy Council and JLP administration, and if they're gonna make any attempt to make any adjustments within the next 5 years. She held her space in the conversation and made some very strong points. Also, the Prime Minister speech, let me know what you think about that, how you feel about it. Drop your like and comments. And everyone, thank you so much for the subscription. I'll see you on the next one. Go ahead and check the blog out.
A very hard-working member of parliament, even if that member of parliament started out as an anomaly in 2020, but they've continued to doing good work. So I say this, so I believe Rhoda Moore Crawford, I believe Crystal Lee, and Tova Hamilton, who had some issues. She has clearly rebalanced them, and perhaps it is setting a new sort of trend. If we look at it that way, then perhaps for Mark Golding and the PNP, they shouldn't be so swift to seek to discard him, because they're coming from a point where Dr. Peter Phillips was perhaps deemed to be an individual who could not take the PNP to where the PNP is at this time.
And a lot of people hadn't thought Golding would be able to cross the line at all.
Right.
Can I just jump in on you and say that I'm hearing that the official voter turnout has come in at 38.8%, which is bad.
That is 1% above the COVID year.
Yes.
And I certainly, based on the crowds I saw and the anticipation, I thought we were heading to a 55% voter turnout. So I don't know what has gone wrong, why so many people have not, but that is something we said we should study again, as we said at the start of the program. Yeah.
May I take you back to the question of Mark Golding's future in the PNP as leader? We have got to the point now where, so he's 60 this year. If they go to the full term, this incoming administration, he would then be 65. I think more and more voters are not looking too kindly in the Jamaican context at someone taking the reins of government heading towards 70. And I think that might, despite what I said earlier, it may be one of the things that they will consider when deciding whether to stick with the leader or seek a younger person to take them forward.
We're going back to EOJ now with Kalisha.
Yes, he's on his last term, and I think there are a lot of young people there who can take it up and run.
And just to be clear, when I said no there, that had nothing to do with my personal opinion. It's based on what I've been hearing from people around him. It sounds as if he's still raring to go.
I think there will be a blend. I think there will be a blend.
Of the young and the old.
Yeah, I think there will be a blend.
I think by now the Prime Minister has developed the capacity to speak to some of these senior members in terms of when he wants to make a change.
Right.
Somebody had said to me that they never thought he would have been able to successfully move Nigel Clark into that former Derek Smith constituency without, a huge fallout, and he did manage. So he clearly has the political chops, absolutely.
Not only that, I think Andrew Holness has really stamped his mark on the Jamaica Labour Party. He's fully in charge of this party at the moment, and I suppose too he is able to sort of recant or take back a view he held. So for example, in North Central St. Andrew, in Casamuda's old constituency, where they appear to have endorsed Christian Tavares Finson to be the candidate there, and there was a bit of furore on the ground and Delano Seabright the entire process was recalled,
Right,
and
it was.
Seabright put in. So he has his hand on the wheel, but he's not unprepared to step back and to redo if there is some sort of disruption.
Right.
And he now has Delano Seabright there, who is able to do a lot, continuing with Ed Bartlett in the Ministry of Tourism Ministry and so forth. As I said, for me, Delroy Chuck has been good at justice because he's brought a lot in terms of lobbying for the judiciary and the budget. But there are some younger people now. He's on his 7th term and final term. We need to be looking at a new breed of young people in a JLP cabinet who can look at putting up a good fight for the next election.
At the same time, we're going to be looking to see who Golding puts in his shadow cabinet. He now has more choices in terms of people who will be in the lower house and who will therefore be able to speak in the lower house.
A slim majority in the lower house. I don't know how we can get on with any constitutional reform if the gridlock remains and is fortified, if the opposition continues to be of the view that they want the movement from the monarchy to be twinned with the CCJ. And I fear we will not move in the next 5 years if positions don't soften, and perhaps the numbers won't allow position. No, as far as I understand the Constitution, the problem with the final court is, even though we don't require a referendum to change from the Privy Council, because the Privy Council is deeply entrenched in the Constitution.
No, it's not.
The Privy Council
No,
is.
it's not. We can remove the Privy Council. We can remove the Privy Council. The difficulty is what we replace
But
it
that's the
with.
point. So we
Privy
can-
Council is not
no, hold on
deeply
a second.
entrenched.
Let me finish the point. We can remove it, but they require the court with which we're going to replace it to be at the same level of entrenchment as the court we are replacing it with.
And hold on, because I
that's the
always want to
challenge.
make sure our viewers and our listeners are following. The Privy Council has said that if Jamaica wants to remove the Privy Council, it can do so. It does not need a 2/3 majority in both houses of parliament to do it. So, for instance, it could have been done the last time around, based on the majority that the government had in parliament. What the Privy Council has said is that to put in place a replacement, you then need the 2/3 support, meaning both government and opposition have to work together. So I'm making the point that the Privy Council is not entrenched. We could remove the Privy Council, and Jamaica could, it wouldn't be desirable, but Jamaica could exist with the Court of Appeal as its final court, having removed the Privy Council.
So there are 2 layers, as you said.
Okay. Clearly, me and Emily are going to have to pick that up another
will,
time. Right
yes.
now, let's go over to JLP headquarters, where the Prime Minister is about to speak.
This bell is not an easy bell to ring. I wouldn't be surprised if Bustamante rang this bell. But I carried the symbol of the party today because it is such a historic moment that this is a victory for our founder, Bustamante, for Sir Donald Stanster, for Hugh Shearer, for Edward Philip George Tiaga, for Bruce Golding. And I want to invite Mrs. Paula Siaga to just come and acknowledge the moment and take a bow to the crowd. Because all of this Mr. Siaga still, he must be happy. So, Desmond, you are only allowed to hold the bell temporarily. Do not ring it. I have a few things to say early on. Firstly, let me thank the thousands of Jamaicans who prayed for me personally and who prayed for the government and the country. I want to thank my wife and one of my sons is here, Adam. Come on, guy. Of course, the superwoman. And my mother. I want to thank them personally. I mean, you know, a political campaign, sometimes, you know, when they see the personalities, they forget that they are human beings with feelings and emotions, and they can be objectified. It's very difficult, but I want to thank my family here and abroad and all over who have withstood a tremendous onslaught, but they never gave up on me or on the people of Jamaica. I want to thank the political team. I think we have the best political team in the Caribbean. But allow me to, I do this at a risk, but I'm sure everyone will agree that my Deputy Prime Minister, Horace Chang, the General Secretary of the Jamaica Labour Party, deserves special commendation. You know, there's a special bond that has to be between the leader and the General Secretary of a political party. And Horace and I have been working for the greater part of 30 years together. We have been very good friends and very good professional associates. We have a mind share, and we are both very much committed to Jamaica, like everyone in the team. I want to thank you, the supporters. You would know how much you mean to me. For all of you who squeeze up on the bus to come to the meeting, who go on the long motorcades with us, for all of you who take on the PMP them when you hear them with the lies. But for all of you who have stood up and chosen Jamaica, I say thanks to you, the supporters of the party. You make us stronger, and we stand here on your shoulders. And thank you. God bless you, and I love you. Today, Jamaica won. Jamaica won this election. Yes. The majority of voters decided to choose Jamaica. Make no mistake about it. This was not victory by default. Make no mistake about it. This was not an easy victory. Make no mistake about it. This was a fight. But we did not descend my political organization. We did not descend to the gutter to fight. We did not seek to trick the people to win. We did not seek to tear down anyone to lift up ourselves. We did not seek to tear down Jamaica in order to be able to administer the affairs of Jamaicans. We ran a clean, disciplined, focused, well-organized campaign. And we proved that we can run a decent campaign and win. And that is how Jamaica has won. That is how Jamaica wins. Our democracy by this election is proven to be intact. There are those who are trying to seed a view that the mere fact of a third term is a threat to democracy. There are those who are trying to carry the idea that regardless of how well a government performs and merits to be re-elected, it shouldn't happen because somehow that is a threat to democracy. Well, today has dispelled that because we went through the toughest battle in any democratic society in the region to stand here and say we will be the government for the third time. And I want that point to be understood. We contested the election with the highest level of decency and morality. The people came out. We do have our concerns about the turnout, but the people who voted, the majority spoke and chose Jamaica. So I am satisfied that our democracy is strong. But I wish to assure all Jamaicans who participated in the elections or who did not participate in the election that my government will continue to be respectful of, uphold and advance democratic institutions and protect the democracy of this country. There are some things that should be said. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Jamaica is at a special place today. It is an opportunity for me it was also a personal challenge. And I would just like to say, when you face challenges and you look for the opportunities, rise to the occasion. Look at yourself and know you're strong. No one can stop you. Rise to the occasion. Look at yourself and say you're strong. No one can stop you. Rise to the occasion. Good, you know you're strong. No one can stop you. And after all the attacks, the lies, the rumors, the innuendos, I am still solid as a rock. They just can't stop me now. Term, as in the first and the second, we must guard against arrogance. We must be focused on addressing the needs of the people. And while it is clear that the majority have spoken and chosen the Jamaica Labour Party, geographically and traditionally, there are still those who may not share that view. And for varying reasons. One reason is they say, yes, we see prosperity in some areas, but they want prosperity to come now to their community, to their driveway and to their doorway. This government, in our third term, must be laser focused on ensuring that there is prosperity for all Jamaicans. And just to be clear, prosperity doesn't mean riches. For some people, prosperity means peace. They want to live in peace. For some people, prosperity may mean their children getting to university. For some people, prosperity is a car. For others, it is a house. But for most people, it is the road fixed in their community and water in their pipes. And so, we must be focused on delivering these basic public services, which means prosperity for so many. But Jamaica is more than that. Jamaica is a potential to be realized. And for decades, we have underperformed. The story of Jamaica is that we have done so much as a country, but we could have done so much more. For the first time, an electorate has said, we will reward a performing government to continue to deliver the promise of Jamaica. The promise of cutting murders and crime and bringing Jamaica finally to peace, the peace which we had 60 years ago. We can have peace in our country. The promise of Jamaica being a growing and robust economy, which we had 60 years ago, we will continue to fulfill the promise of the growth of the Jamaican economy. We will continue to fulfill the promise of a knowledgeable, educated, and informed society, where every child can have access to the best quality education. We will continue to fulfill that promise. We will continue to fulfill the promise where every Jamaican can have meaningful employment and earn a meaningful income so that you can fulfill your own personal dreams and aspirations. We will continue to fulfill that promise. And we will continue to build a society that is just. A society that is fair for everyone. We will continue the work that we have started in our second term. Now, as I close my presentation to you, our political organization, like any other organization, must renew itself. The third term is also an opportunity for renewal, to attract new people, to expose new talent, to refresh ideas, and to place to the Jamaican people a continued, credible political organization that can always ably lead the government of the country. So we will not be laying back comfortable in victory. No. We will be rebuilding, refreshing, renewing, and preparing to be a credible alternative to the opposition for the fourth term of a Jamaica Labour Party government. So Labour to continue with a government that performs, because it sends a signal to governments to come that the way to win is by performing, by doing, by achieving victory by merit. Third, in our second term, we created a momentum. We are on the right path. People share that view, and therefore we will continue to use the momentum to accelerate the development of our country and to ensure that you can get the benefits and the aspirations that you have all wished for. And fourth, we commit to being a responsible, caring, and fair government. That is my commitment and the commitment of my team to you. We will be the political party to move Jamaica from poverty to prosperity. I continue to be your one PM.